Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys here on this Friday. Friday, May 26th, 2023. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to have you guys here. So let's get started. Let's see what we're going to talk about today. Now, you guys, when you go places like daycare, schools, libraries, hospitals, places like that, the best, safest places at home nowadays, really. Considering there's antibiotic resistant bugs out there. And guess what? They're going to kill as many people as cancer by the year 2050. These are growing in power, these bugs. 1.27 million deaths were directly attributed to drug-resistant infections globally. 4.5 million deaths were linked with bacterial AMR. And if we take a look here, we can see the death rates skyrocketing from drug-resistant infections. We're talking millions of people are going to die from these drug-resistant infections. And antibiotics, I guess, don't work on them or don't work on them very well. And they're very spread and catchy. They get on all surfaces and things. So you remember the policy things we used to do back when COVID was out there, how they used to have these hand dispensers out there and they used to squirt the stuff in your hand, you rub it on your hands, it disappears after a couple seconds. That's an easy solution. It wouldn't be a bad idea to carry one of those in your, if you're a lady, in your purse, or if you're a man, carry it, maybe a little something with you, and just rub it on your hands, whenever you're out in these places like hospitals, daycare centers, schools. Schools are really bad. Places like that, where these infections seem to be. That's where they seem to be the most, and that's where they're being spread the most, especially at places like hospitals and doctors' offices, dentist offices, things like that, Wouldn't be a bad idea, and so you're safer at home from these things. Now, talking about other stuff, taking a look at, this is what's happening in Ukraine right now. Lukashenko confirms Russian tactical nukes are already being transferred to Belarus. So here they are working on the nuke, these two men right here in the picture, and they're transporting it. And where's it going? Into Belarus, just on the north side of Ukraine up there. Borders on Ukraine. These are tactical nukes they signed a deal Thursday to formalize deployment of Russian nukes on Belarusian soil. All of this comes dangerously close to the Ukraine's border. Alarmingly for Ukraine and NATO backers, Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko said soon after the deal was signed that the transfer of non-strategic nuclear weapons from Russia to Belarus is already undergone. They're doing it right now. They're transferring nuclear weapons into this region. Now, in other news, what's going on out there right now is Fitch, the rating company that rates the United States debt, they are considering downgrading the United States debt as these talks are dragging on. But at the same time this morning, I heard that they're coming close to making some sort of a debt deal arrangement. They're only a few $1 billion away from having a deal done. And the pressure's really on them right now to get some sort of a deal through before these rating agencies can downgrade the United States debt. This is a big factor right here. The fact that Fitch is considering downgrading the United States debt. This is pushing the politicians into action. And they never get into action until they're pushed into action. So anyway, that's what's going on there. Now, if we take a look today at the silver price, we're up 39 cents on the day so far, 23.12. we've had some very bad days recently for silver, and it's nice to see an up day for a change. Taking a look at gold today, we're seeing that gold is up $1.80 at 1943. Taking a look at cryptocurrencies today and see what crypto's doing. The Bitcoin is at 26,854, and the Ethereum is at 1823. I'm going to give you guys the XRP price because we haven't checked that in a while. It's at 46 cents, 46.6 cents. Well, XRP is actually doing pretty good. I know a lot of you guys have XRP. Probably waiting for it to actually make its move and become an integral part of the system somehow. We'll have to wait and see what happens. You know, they are really screwing things up when it comes to these fiat currencies. They can't screw things up worse within the crypto industry. I mean, crypto has made a totally different type of system. It's running parallel right now to the regular financial system out there. And it has been for quite a long time. It doesn't need permission. If they ask for permission, of course, the regular financial system would say, no, you can't do this. But they're running on their own. A parallel system has been running for a long time, starting with Bitcoin. It started in 2009, and it's still ongoing. And it's grown into a $1 trillion industry. Believe that. You know, back when Bitcoins were something that they traded for, it's almost worth nothing. I mean, one guy traded 7,000 Bitcoins for a pizza, and he thought he got a good deal back in the days when this thing first started. That's almost hard to believe, isn't it, guys? Now, let's take a look now at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. 349 points up today. So we back up above the 33,000 mark, 33,113. Taking a look at crude oil, we're up 99 cents at 72.82. So on the news that they're coming to some sort of a deal or arrangement, or getting close to coming to a deal or arrangement, we're seeing this make things go bullish again right now, today. Things are a little bit bullish. And so everything's starting to go up a little bit again. Bonds and rates today. We're seeing rising yields all except for the 30-year. 30-year staying below 4% at 3.99. The U.S. 10-year is 3.82, and it's up 1.4 basis points. Boy, that U.S. 10-year is getting dangerously close to that 4% mark. Taking a look at the dollar index today, and we're seeing the dollar at 104.14 today. So there we go. The dollar is doing rather well lately, and it's not surprising because of all this. Considering, if I take things into consideration, how much liquidity's been removed from the system in that past number of months with the most powerful Fed tightening cycle in ages, and quantitative tightening at the same time. Raising interest rates and quantitative tightening. Considering what's been going on in this cycle, the dollar is not where it should be. It should be like probably 115 on the dollar index or something like that. And it's at 104. It's dragging, you know. So why is it dragging? Why is the dollar dragging? It's because of the underlying fundamentals behind the dollar. The fundamentals are terrible. You got all the BRICS nations there forming a block over there, and they decided that they don't want to be under dollar hegemony anymore. And they're trying as hard as they can to destroy the petrodollar, the petro part of the dollar. Not so much the dollar, but the petro part of the dollar. They are coming down hard on it. They're forming new alliances in order to trade out of the dollar. You know, but the dollar's held so strong only because of what the Fed's been doing. We had inflation that was getting up toward 20% by real metrics, not by their phony CPI numbers. Now we've had some disinflation. Inflation has leveled off a little bit. If they keep on with this kind of stuff, they could crack the entire economy and we could head into a deflationary period, a short deflationary period if they keep on. If they don't, and they're not going to, they're going to keep on. They're not going to relent until they get what they're looking for. And I've said this on my show numerous times. I was talking about this yesterday. And, we're in the most dangerous period right now in human history where we have immensely powerful weapons on both sides, and we've got a division between East and West now, and both sides wants to run the world. Basically, both sides want their monetary system to run the world. The IMF wants to run the world. They got their big plans where they're going to have their 15-minute cities and their carbon taxes and their new currency, a CBDC for the whole world, including the East. And the East has got their big plans. They're going to have their gold-backed yuan or whatever, or their gold-backed rupee or whatever they're going to have, and trade out of the dollar, and they're going to have a new system of governance for the world. So both sides want something similar, and they're fighting over the world now, over who's going to control the world in the next century or whatever. That's what they're fighting over right now. And it's not an outright hot war. It's a cold war. It's ongoing right now to determine the future. But the problem is these weapons that they have now. They aren't like World War II when we go out and it'd all be conventional. Now we see the handwriting on the wall. They're moving these nuclear weapons around. They're positioning them, not just in the East, but in the West as well. So it's a very dangerous time in human history right now. And like I say, and then we got all these viruses, and we got this crazy weather, and the whole thing. Very dangerous period in time. But what we're doing is, on this channel, and you guys are smart. You're navigating your way. You're seeing the danger, putting a few things away for yourself just in case. I bet you everybody in my audience that listens to my show has probably got some bottled water put away by now. Maybe not a lot, but some. You're better off than your neighbors, and you probably got a little bit of food put away in your pantry. Canned food and stuff like that. So when the power goes out, your neighbors aren't going to know what to do, because they always, you know what they do? Every day they go out and they eat out or whatever, and they got nothing in the fridge. This is typical behavior in a modern society, because why buy food for more than one day when you're chancing it going bad and they don't like to eat canned food? So most people, I'm going to say probably 80% of the people out there don't have any bottled water put away for themselves. All they got is tap water if they want it. And they don't have any food put away for themselves. So you guys are the minority. But that little bit of being prepared might just save your butt. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to my show. Like and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode. And have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.